heal because Carolina beat you up, bro. Carolina was like Tennessee to Eddie George. They beat you up. So just sit back and chill for a year. Stay in shape, and then come back and make a team next year and be the real Cam Newton.
Well, and unfortunately, right. Unfortunately, he's not going to do that. He right now is under COVID protocol for I think 10 days. Belichick, okay, right,
COVID-19 test. Started practice today. He's back in camp right now.
right. Belichick backed him up and said he did everything right, and it really kind of frustrated me that everyone was trying to go against what's going on and try to talk mess about Cam because he's not vaccinated. It was like, well, he should have been vaccinated. Well, if the test ain't right, then what? I mean, what's really going on? It's really kind of a weird situation because he did have COVID-19 last year. He did have COVID, and that was one of the reasons why the Patriots didn't do so well. I mean, how their offense was, they weren't going to do well anyway. But fully healthy Cam Newton gets you a couple more wins that last season. So a fully
Off Sonny Michelle to the Rams.
mm, yeah, go ahead with that. No, go ahead with that story. I just seen that right before we got on the show.
Pick up a fourth and a sixth from the Rams for Sonny Michelle. Now the thing is with Sonny Michelle is that okay, he won a Super Bowl with the Patriots already coming in. He's a running back out of Georgia, and Sonny Michelle. The one problem, the knock with him is that he can't stay healthy. I don't know what it is with running backs out of Georgia. They come out pretty good, but they just can't stay healthy. A la Todd Gurley.
Right, right. My uh, probably we got to see what he does with the Rams because the Rams have had a good quarterback since obviously Todd Gurley who's in. I think he's with Atlanta still, if I'm not mistaken. But oh, he's out of the league. Oh my goodness.
Ain't durable. Because look at Todd Gurley. He broke down. You got Sonny Michelle who broke down. You got all these other running backs that broke down. And then now you at the Rams, it seems like every running back the Rams get breaks down. So is that a match made in disaster?
It sounds like it. It really does.
About the quarterback position for the Rams with Matt Stafford. So did you know Matt Stafford was in Cabo at the same time as Sean McVay?
Oh wow. Oh, I did hear about that. I did hear about that.
And said, hey, look, I know we just signed Golf to a $100 million contract extension, but let's trade him and get Stafford. And the rest was history. They were all in Cabo together.
Right, right. I mean, yeah, tampering doesn't exist. Let's just get that out the way. The NBA tries to do it, tries to find players and teams for tampering, but it doesn't exist. These people, these players or whatever, when they go on vacation, they go to the same places. They know each other for years. So they're eventually going to link up. It's just a matter of time. And the timing was right. Well, my question to you, right, since we're talking about the Rams, they lose that preseason game by 1 to the Raiders and whatnot. How do you see? Yeah, that's a rivalry that I would like to see more often because that's a fight. That's a that's a fight in the phone booth.
Practice, the third practice, when it was in joint practices because it got too violent. I don't want to see that in the preseason. I don't want to see my starting players get hurt. So I don't want to see that anymore. I wouldn't schedule the Rams anymore on my preseason list because the fight breaks out. There's a lot of chirping going on, and it's unnecessary. It's the preseason, man. It's team guys trying to make the team, not fight.
Yeah, yeah. It's some it's a lot of things going on, but the Rams look pretty good this year. Like you said, they added Sonny Michelle and whatnot. But before we go to break, because we got 2 minutes, Kenny. Well, 1 minute now. Can you see them winning this division, NFC West?
I heard the 49ers are pretty good, but yeah, I can see them winning it. I mean, until you dethrone the Seahawks and the Rams, yeah, I see the Rams winning it.
Okay, there you have it. Right. Now we're gonna come back and talk more NFL on the other side of Mark My Words Sports Show. Let's keep it locked right here. That was wild. Okay, we're back. Mark My Words Sports Show. I'm Dwayne. It's Kenny on the other end. And we're getting into the NFL right now. And what's going on with the preseason. The last games are this weekend. It's only 3 games, from now on because of the extended NFL season. And, Kenny, I'm gonna go through a couple teams, and I want you to answer what are you looking for in these matchups. First one is the Eagles versus the Jets. What would you look for right there as far as the third preseason game?
I mean, in all the preseason games, with the third game now being in the last game, you're looking for depth and maybe a starter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking for from all the teams. It's like depth and a starter. Is this guy good enough to make your team and you feel comfortable with him putting on your 53-man roster for week 8?
Right.
And see what they do.
Yeah. Exactly. And right. And then from the looks of it, it seems like a lot of ones, meaning starters, haven't been playing in most of the season. A lot of teams aren't playing their quarterbacks. I don't think Russell Wilson has played a snap in preseason. I think I've seen Patrick Mahomes play for a minute. I'm not sure if Tom Brady played. I think did Aaron Rodgers even play? I don't think so. So as far as health is concerned, you gotta keep your stars healthy, your best players healthy. But this is the game, the week where these players have to make the team. If they don't make the team, they're going to be either free agents or pushed to the practice squad. So I mean, it is a make it break it. If you're a true NFL fan, you watched the last game, the last preseason game. Matter of fact, they got Cowboys Jaguars, and I wonder if Trevor Lawrence is going to play. Now he has been named the starter for Week 1. What do you think about that? And
Mistake. I think that they should let him sit down. The game is still moving too fast, but I watched him. What I really took note of is that how Urban Meyer looked on the sideline, like he was sick to his stomach watching him play. Then Gardner Minshew comes in. Granted, it's against the lesser strings, but Gardner Minshew comes in and lights a fire under everybody. I think they should start Gardner Minshew. I think he would be a better one because he's taken live NFL bullets before, so he knows what to expect. I I think you bring Trevor Lawrence along slow because he's not that guy. I said that on the show a while back when I watched the Clemson Ohio State game, and Justin Fields stood out head and shoulders beyond him.
Right. Exactly. And speaking of Justin Fields, he's not going to be the starter. It's going to be Andy Dalton. And people talking about that was kind of in his contract to for them to lure him from the Cowboys. Now, is that the right move? Because you see the difference between Andy Dalton and Justin Fields and how the crowd reacts and how the team reacts. Just like you said, Gardner Minshew lights a fire under them. It looks like Justin Fields lights a fire under the Chicago Bears team. So is this the right move, starting Andy Dalton?
I think it's a perfect move. You let Andy Dalton start the season and take those live bullets. You let Justin Fields sit back and grow and fester and learn. And then once you feel he's comfortable by week 9, then all of a sudden it's like, bye, Andy Dalton, you've been real. Go train somebody else's quarterback, but ours is ready.
Right. Right. And another thing, what do you think of the Dak Prescott fiasco? And you know Jerry Jones is spinning his PR wheels on this situation. Is this a disaster waiting to happen? His shoulder, you still have his leg issue. I don't think he's played a snap at all. He's practiced a little bit. I mean, is this a disaster waiting to happen, as usual?
Well, it's the Cowgirls. So anything is a disaster waiting to happen with them until they get rid of Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is the worst thing that ever happened to the Cowgirls.
I mean, I didn't want to go there with that, but I'm trying to be unbiased, but you know my affiliation. You already know where I stand with the situation with the Cowboys, but it seems like that if Dak Prescott starts week 1, and he gets smacked up, it's going to be a bad look for the Cowboys. And then one other team is the Dolphins. How do you see in his second year? How do you see Tua Tagovailoa looking? One game to me he didn't look that calm in the pocket. I mean, how do you see Tua right now?
I see a young quarterback trying to figure it out. That's what I see. I don't think he's a bad quarterback because I watched him on big game statuses and he came in there and did his thing. He's a left-hand gun. I think you let him figure it out. He's going to eventually figure it out and be a good quarterback. You want him to be a good quarterback for you, so you just let him figure it out. Go keep getting the Magics and all these other people in the world.
Hey, here's a big question. If it doesn't work out for Tua this season, does he turn into a Marcus Mariota?
Say it one more time.
If it doesn't turn out good for Tua, does he turn into Marcus Mariota?
Ooh, that's a deep question. They both from Hawaii too. That's a deep. They both went to the high school named St. Louis High School in Hawaii, which is turning into be a powerhouse because they're starting to put a lot of players in the league. Ooh, that's a good question, Dwayne. I don't know.
I mean, you got to think about it. You have Fitzmagic. He moves on and goes to Washington, and they're looking great. That team is looking really they look great. Defensively, offensively.
Go jump off a cliff.
The Giants got some ways. I'm not even bringing up the Giants, but when it comes to Tua, you've seen how last season progressed, and I think really the coach made a mistake putting Tua in when Fitzpatrick was moving and grooving. He was winning games, and then you cut that short, and I right.
But still, you can look at a young quarterback and tell the game is moving too fast. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, of course I do.
Everybody's moving too quick. Like, okay, you know how you guys say I hate Michael Vick, right? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Keep going.
You know how you say I hate Michael Vick. I don't hate Michael Vick. I just thought Michael Vick wasn't ready to be a starting quarterback in the NFL because I seen when he comes to the line, he doesn't know what that defense is going to do to him. A la Peyton Manning, he comes to the line and manipulates it. Starts calling out fake coverages, fake this and fake that and this. And then, like my boy said, I stood up and started yelling fake stuff back at him. Mm-hmm. But
right,
roll his blocks. Okay, they're coming from the blitz is coming from the left. That's when you hear him scream, 56 is hot. When he screamed that, 34 is hot. Hot means that's the guy who's going to come hit me. So I need the running back to slide over to this side. Michael Vick never had that command coming down until he got to Philly with Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely right. And
mm-hmm. See that? It's like Lamar Jackson. I see Lamar Jackson as a gimmick at best because Michael Vick started off hot, but if you look at his quarterback numbers before his injury, they were regressing. They were regressing as more defenses realized how to stop him and neutralize him with the run. His numbers regressed. Only player he could throw the ball to is Peerless Price. I mean, not Peerless Price. That's the guy who's receiving career he ruined. Only person he could throw the ball to was Algie Crumpler. I'm sorry.
Right.
He was only allowed, Michael Vick was only allowed to throw the ball to 25% of the field. That's like one look and let it go.
Well, Kenny, are you comparing Tua to Michael Vick right now?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. They're young quarterbacks. Right now, he had initial success. Michael Vick had initial success. But as more defenses learned how to neutralize them, say, hey, wait a minute, you have no arm talent. You have a howitzer for an arm. You can throw the ball far, but you have no arm talent. You can't drop that nice little dime in there to the receiver. You can't do that. The defense is not, the offense is not letting you, as Michael Vick, throw the ball all over the field, even though you have a howitzer for an arm.
Okay, well, Kenny. Right. Well, I have a last one. What do you think of Zack Wilson? Now, everyone is high on Zack Wilson right now. I think maybe. Right. I think the main issue. Well, I have a little bit, and I think the main issue with him is, one, they don't have the right receivers for him because he's still not going through his progressions. So to me, either he doesn't trust those, right? Right.
Good quarterbacks.
Right. Well, you got to think those are top wide receivers for that league. Now you have wide receivers. No. I'm talking about BYU. Comparing BYU, his receivers there that he knew for years versus the wide receivers at the Jets, which are average. Well, right. Well, what I'm saying is, yeah.
The best rookie quarterbacks drafted.
I just think the main problem the Jets have is they need more talent on the wide receivers, the tight end. You know what I mean? Because once, just like you said with the Vic situation, you need that tight end so you could dump it down low. If your flanker is not there. No, I don't remember. Okay.
Across 99.9% of Americans can't tell you what I just told you. That's how sorry that guy was, mediocre that guy was, that Michael Vick, because he had Michael Vick, made him a star.
Well, I think Zack Wilson. Right. but I know. With Kenny.
Roddy Wright's career, but Roddy White ended up getting Matt Ryan. And that's what saved his career. those other two guys' career because they couldn't catch. He couldn't throw the ball to him.
All right, Kenny, we got to get off. Kenny, we got to get off this Michael Vick because you're going to go forever about Michael Vick. But what I'm trying to get at with these new quarterbacks is the fact that, right. Well, what I'm trying to say is with the Tua Tagovailoa who's going to start, the Zack Wilsons who's going to start, they're going to need wide receiver help. I think Miami has better wide receiver help than the Jets, obviously. The Jets need to make a move. You know, they do have some slot receivers, but they don't have a tight end that he can dump off to when he can't get to the flanker or to the slot. Because Zack Wilson's going to run, and I think that would be a bad move as well. So they need to do something.
For a young quarterback.
It's a tight end. What is it?
Running back.
Okay.
The best thing for a young quarterback is a good running back. The best thing for a young quarterback is a good running back because you can dump that ball off to him, let him take majority of the snaps, and handle majority of the offense by just handing him the football. Right. Tight end would be the second thing for a young quarterback. But the best thing for a young quarterback is go find you a Le'Veon Bell.
No, you're right, and I think San Francisco has that, but I don't think Trey Lance. Right. But I don't think Trey Lance, he may be ready, but maybe next year. So they're going to keep Garoppolo there to keep the seat warm.
Florida State. That guy is awesome, bro. He's from LA. He's an awesome quarterback. That guy can play ball. He's big. He's 6'5", 250 pounds or something like that. He's a big boy. But the boy can play quarterback. He can make all his reads, all his progressions. And I think he's showing up Jimmy Garoppolo right now in San Francisco. That's why San Francisco feels like, okay, we can trade Garoppolo.
Yeah, the thing is, though, I don't think John Lynch is gonna do that. I think he's gonna go with Garoppolo as the starter when it comes to. No, say that again.
Garoppolo doesn't last past week 9. Jimmy Garoppolo is the only quarterback I've seen in the modern Super Bowl era only throw 10 passes in the whole game.
Right. Right, and right now. Right, and right now, Kyle Shanahan is not, saying who he's gonna start right now. So, I mean, to me, I think they're gonna give Garoppolo a chance. I think they're gonna start him, and if he makes any mistakes, I'm talking about a pick six, a fumble return for a touchdown, a misread, going into it to an interception. A tip pass from a defensive end to an interception, anything that resembles them losing because of him, they're going to pull the plug. And you say week 9, it may be quicker because when is the trading deadline? Is it week 8? I say week 8. I say if they're not moving in the right direction as far as the top of that division, and
you play in the NFC West, which is like probably the toughest division in football this year coming in with the Seattle Seahawks, the Rams. So that's probably one of the toughest divisions in football right now with the NFC West.
Right. But you got to remember, the Niners, they have everybody coming back from that Super Bowl team. Last season, they was all injured. So it's all on Garoppolo. It's all on Jimmy G to see what he does. And I think if he doesn't by week 8, they're going to trade him. And Trey Lance is going to be...
learn some new porn tricks, maybe appear in a video or two. That'll be great for his career.
Maybe he's be on OnlyFans. We're definitely going to talk about that later on in the show. So Jimmy G, OnlyFans.
Right. It'll sell. A star girlfriend, so she probably all in.
Hey, you never know. They may have one already. You never know. But I think this is going to be a very interesting season. Hopefully it doesn't get shut down, but a very interesting season with these new quarterbacks Um, this may be either a great quarterback class or a not so good quarterback class. I mean, Kenny, one last thing. What do you think? Do you think this is going to be a great quarterback class?
See, it's too early to put great on that name. So maybe a good quarterback class, yeah, because Justin Fields, I think, is going to lead the way through all of these quarterbacks that was rookies. Then next you have a Trey Lance that's going to come out there and show his thing, bro. I think it's a good quarterback class. I'm not going to say great yet. It's not 83. 83 is probably the best quarterback class ever. Mm-hmm. With Elway, Marino, Tony Esiason, you got real quarterbacks coming out then. Jim Kelly. Mm-hmm. So it's not, it's too early to say that it's going to be a great quarterback class.
Right. Obviously. But I would say by this time next year, we're going to know. I think it's going to be very quickly. We're going to figure it out because I think Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, and Zack Wilson will start this season. So we're definitely going to know come by this time next season who's going to be that quarterback that's going to stay in the league for 10 plus years.
I think when all the smoke and stuff is done and said, Trey Lance will probably be that quarterback.
Okay. I think Justin Fields and Trey Lance going to still be there. Zack Wilson maybe.
Opportunity to win. He just seems like that kind of a player.
But I think the worst player right now in the situation is Trevor Lawrence. I think that's the worst situation. That's why I'm gonna say
they talk about you as the greatest thing since Jesus. You get that welcome to the NFL moment over and over again, and that's what he's going through. Plus, you got a rookie coach in Urban Meyer who he can't even stomach. I guarantee you, Urban Meyer didn't name Trevor Lawrence the starting quarterback after watching what he watched. Because that look on Urban Meyer's face on the sideline, bro, was like sick to his stomach. Do you realize Urban Meyer only lost 9 games in college football?
That's crazy. Right.
Lost 9 games. You know what I'm saying? In college football. So that is a crazy stat in its own. So he's going to lose 9 games by week 9.
That is going to happen. And, right.
And then now you lose your starting running back that you just drafted in Travis Etienne. He's out for the season.
Mm. Exactly.
He's going to lose 10 games by week 9. How is he going to be able to stomach that? Because he's not used to losing. And that's what happens to a lot of these guys that win on the college level, but they try to take the talents to South Beach, meaning the pros, the NFL, and they get smacked up with that stuff. Right. That stuff is good for college, not the pros. And I think that's what you're going through a lot of.
Right.
I think Jacksonville made a grievous area hiring Urban Meyer as their coach. Mm-hmm. Urban Meyer should have looked for another college gig and kept it like that.
And we will find out in the next couple weeks, and we're going to be right back with more Mark My Words Sports Show.
Broadcasting from the campus of the Phoenix Center for the Arts, this is RadioPhoenix.org, Phoenix.
This week on Mark My Words Sports Show, the NCAA is doing some realignment, and it looks like it's going to change the landscape of college sports. Me and Kenny are going to talk, is it a good thing or a bad thing, and what does it mean right for the college football playoff? We're also going to get into the NFL has a big issue with COVID-19, aka Cordell virus. We're going to talk about that and who's to blame. We're also going to get into Major League Baseball. It's getting into the home stretch, and we're going to talk about the hot teams and the teams that may not make it to the playoffs. We also have Ken's Top 10 and the name game. So as always, keep it locked right here on Mark My Words Sports Show. And as always, keep it 1 million.
Oh, wow.
Make my swap.
Mark My Words Sports Show is here. I'm Dwayne. This is Kenny. We're on RadioPhoenix.org and TuneIn Radio. I need y'all to follow, like, share on all of our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and on Instagram. and on YouTube. We're live right now on Instagram. And what's going on, Kenny? I know we've been talking about football, but let's switch to to baseball.
The Dodgers and the San Diegos played an absolute marathon last night, 16 innings. Now, they started with a controversial new rule that every overtime inning starts with a runner on second base. Apparently, it didn't work last night because you ended up playing the longest baseball game since that rule has been instituted.
Right. It's been the longest baseball game since before the beginning of the pandemic. I watched some of it. I fell asleep, woke up, it was still on. I couldn't believe it. You know how you wake up to go to the bathroom. It was at the 15th inning, so I got to sit there and see how long this game going to last. And then I see the Dodgers did win that game. Was it 5-3?
5-3 in the 16th inning with a two-run blast from A.J. Pollock. The real question for the Dodgers getting Mookie Betts back today. What do you do with Cody Bellinger, Scottsdale's own? Do you bench him? Do you pursue a trade? He's having the worst season of his career.
You know,
as he's swinging to knock the ball out of the park, and every once in a while he's going to catch one, but he's not doing good. He's batting like 139 for the season.
Yeah, and he only has 5 home runs. Like, it's not even close to an MVP season.
They would call the gymnast. He has a yipsies at the plate. He's not the regular Cody Bellinger coming off of that injury.
Right.
So do you ruin this young man's psyche by putting him on the bench for Mookie Betts? Because you can't pull Chris Taylor.